still have Fortnite memes in your IG stories? What do you mean? There's a new Kurgazox? Okay, we'll watch that. It's Friday, Dean. Oh, damn. Look at that. Right in front. Wow, they're talking about asteroid mining too. Dude, everyone's talking about asteroid mining. What the fuck? Dude, I watched so many Easter eggs videos of Dark Souls last night. My entire YouTube recommended is probably Dark Souls now. I watched a game theory one about the background of the Ashen one. Oh my God. I was in bed. Do you ever do this where like I have a laptop that I can watch shit from? I have my TV that I can watch shit from. And instead I was just so fucking hooked on my phone that I didn't even turn it on. I didn't turn on any of that shit. And I was just like watching it on my phone in bed like this, like for no reason. I haven't watched the Vati video yet on purpose because, so here's the thing. I did not watch the Vati video yet because I don't want to see like the bosses and stuff. I don't want to get like super spoiled. Kurzgesagt pronunciation. Kurzgesagt.
On a computer more powerful than anything humanity could build a few decades ago. This progress and all the wonderful machines you take for granted are built on a few rare and precious materials with names like terbium, neodymium, or tantalum. Getting these rare materials from the ground into your devices is ugly. The mining industry.
I did not like, oh shit, I will tell you this much. I didn't like the wisecrack philosophy behind Dark Souls. I did not like that one. That was before Dark Souls 3. And that entire video focused on like how it was analogous for birth, and I did not like it. It was like, ugh, it was too Freudian. Everything was about fucking Freud. All right, we'll talk about the Dark Souls stuff in a second.
Industry is responsible for air and water pollution and the destruction of entire landscapes. Dangerous chemicals like cyanide, sulfuric acid or chlorine are used to extract the resources, harming biodiversity, workers and locals. And rare resources are also political tools when countries restrict access to them to get their way. But what if we could replace the mining industry on Earth with a clean process that can't harm anyone? Well, we can. All we need to do is look up. Asteroids are millions of trillions of tons of rocks, metals and ice, leftovers from the cloud that became the planet 4.5 billion years ago. They can be as small as a meter or protoplanets the size of entire countries. Most of them are concentrated in the asteroid belt and the Kuiper belt, while hundreds of thousands more do their own thing between the planets. As space travel is becoming more feasible, scientists and economists have begun looking at the resources found in these asteroids. Even relatively small metallic asteroids may contain trillions worth of industrial and precious metals like platinum. And bigger asteroids like 16 Psyche could contain enough iron nickel to cover the world's metal needs for millions of years. At current market prices, the rare raw materials alone would be worth quadrillions of dollars. Well, not really, but technically. For example, there are more than 20 million tons of gold in the ocean's water, worth roughly 750 trillion US dollars. But filtering out the gold would be so expensive that you'd lose money selling it. Right now, asteroid mining has exactly this problem. It's too expensive to replace mining on Earth. Billions of dollars worth of valuable resources in space are worthless if it costs trillions to get them. What makes it so hard? The principles behind mining an asteroid are simple. The basic idea is to choose an asteroid, move it to a place where it's easy to process, and then take it apart to turn into useful products. Unfortunately, all of this collides with fundamental problems humans have yet to solve. Going to space is expensive. It costs thousands of dollars in rocket fuel for each kilogram just to reach a low Earth orbit. Going further out into deep space costs thousands more. We need cheaper space travel to make asteroid mining profitable. One solution is to switch from classical rockets to electric spaceships. We already use electrical rocket engines for many of the space probes on science missions. In principle, we only need to build bigger ones. While electrical engines are not powerful enough to fly to space, they require only a tiny amount of fuel to go very far once they're in space. This means we don't need to spend a lot of money on fuel only to transport fuel into space. This doesn't solve the whole cost problem, but it makes it easier to start our first mission. Now that we have an electric asteroid mining spaceship, we need to find the right asteroid and get it there. We've already successfully visited asteroids with space probes and even collected samples. Still, to make it easier and cheaper, our first targets will probably be near-Earth asteroids. Asteroids that orbit, well, near Earth. After a few months of travel, our spaceship finally arrives at our asteroid. Weirdly formed, littered with small impact craters, it hasn't changed much for billions of years. The first thing that needs to be done is to secure the asteroid and stop it from spinning. There are multiple ways to do this, like vaporizing material with a laser or stopping the rotation with thrusters. Once we have a stable asteroid, we need to wait. Orbital mechanics are complicated, but if you push something in the right direction at exactly the right moment, you can move very big things with very little force.
The amount of math required to be able to calculate the movement of the asteroid and the movement of the spaceship that will inevitably hit the asteroid or stop the asteroid dead in its tracks is so insane that if you are engaged in it, like, you're not a human being in my eyes. You have become something entirely different.
You love your father,
which is partially what Murat does, literally. I don't think he does the complex mathematics behind it, but he himself is building the spaceship. No shit, that's why SpaceX has so many mathematicians. It's just fucking insane to me, dude. I don't think I like the rendezvous thing on Earth and an asteroid. No, it doesn't. It's solved, though. Computers can do it fairly easily. It's not that complicated, actually. It is for me, okay? I'm a humble meme farmer, okay? I am a mere peasant when it comes to, like, space, asteroid, orbital mathematics, okay?
So we wait for exactly the right moment. Our ship fires its thrusters and nudges the asteroid into a trajectory that takes it near our moon. The moon is useful because we can borrow its gravity.
By the way, my brother literally does this. He is an aerospace engineer. I don't know, people wide clap just said this as well, but, like, my brother is an aerospace and mechanical engineer at Boeing and literally does space imperialism. He is currently working on space imperialism right now.
Gravitational pull to
Space
put the asteroid
colonization.
in a stable orbit around Earth, which saves even more fuel. Again, the trip takes months. But all the time since our ship was launched has not been wasted. The first space mining and processing equipment has been installed in orbit and is now carefully moving towards the asteroid. The processor works very differently than on Earth. Giant mirrors focus sunlight and heat up asteroid rock to boil out the gases. Grinders break up the dried rocks into gravel and dust, and centrifuges separate dense from light elements. Even if we only extract 0.01% of the asteroid's mass in precious metals, this is still several times more than you'd get from the same amount of ore on the ground. But what now? How do we get our precious metals safely back to ground? There are a few ways, like loading it into reusable rockets that return to Earth from space. Or if our processor contains 3D printers, we can print a faster and cheaper delivery system. Heat-shielded capsules filled with gas bubbles. These can just be dropped into the oceans where ships tow them away. This could be the starting
I
point.
like that it fucking murked a bird. Yeah, fuck birds, dude. Hey, birds. If I see you, it's on sight, burb. Fuck you up.
Of humanity's first real steps towards colonizing the solar system. As our infrastructure and experience grows, our missions get more and more sophisticated. Parts and fuel produced on asteroids don't have to be launched from Earth at all. The first mining operation makes the second one easier, and so on. While the space industry grows and precious materials become cheaper, eventually we could stop mining on Earth. Even the idea of toxic mining down here might become something weird and anachronistic, like having an open fire in your living room. Landscapes ravaged by pollution will heal, while the technological wonders we're used to get cheaper and less toxic to make. None of this is science fiction. We don't need fancy materials or new physics to make asteroid mining happen. We could start building this future today. All we need is an initial push. Maybe you could also use a little nudge, not to pursue anything as ambitious as asteroid mining, just to try something new and fun.
Okay, the rest of this is ads, but god damn, bro, they literally packed in fucking... That's crazy. They packed in like a 2-minute ad, like just it's nuts. A 1-minute ad. We cannot make this future today. This is literally unattainable in our lifetimes. Wait, why? What are you talking about? It absolutely is attainable in our lifetime. Asteroid mining right now is very much attainable. Wait, what are you saying? No, it isn't. Unless you're dying tomorrow. It's not because people don't want to do it. No, the reason why people are not doing it is because Hassan, read the thread. What? No. B1 Jin Saming? Is this no virgin shaming? Is he back? I'm just gonna automatically ban no virgin shaming because I think it's the same person from like early first old days of the stream. This is just wishful thinking. If only 1% benefit from it. Second thought, I'd done a video. Yeah, I know. We already watched that. Just because there are startups that convince people to get funding doesn't mean there's any practical capacity. I mean, any sort of advancements made in space travel will benefit the planet, as it always has historically. So there are always going to be crazy advancements in technology directly as a consequence of advancements made in space travel. It's not directly for what benefit, lol. Okay, guys. It's unimaginable, okay? It's not when you fucking figure out a way to like 3D print a container that you can blast back onto the planet in space from space. There could be like a completely separate technology that you figured out as a consequence of that while you were on the pathway of building the tech that did not exist beforehand. Isn't this how we got to refrigerators? Like, space travel has always led to... What? Space travel has always led to significant gains in technology, in everyday technology, like microwaves and shit. Radar led to microwaves. Before I listen to you, have to put a Kerbal rocket into orbit. I don't know why you guys are being so fucking dumb about this. I did not recognize that I had no idea I had so many unironic Luddites in the fucking chat. Maybe I shit on like STEM lords too much as a meme because I grew up with the ultimate STEM lord. I think the interest of colonizing space also is a lesser of two evils if you consider like material gains being made in an area under a capitalist organization of the economy. Material gains being made or significant advancements in technology could come from one of two things: imperialism on the planet, warfare, and millions and millions of people dead as a consequence of that, and destabilization, or space travel, which doesn't fucking kill anyone. So yeah, forgive me for always wanting to, you know, stand in the side of space travel over fucking imperialism here. It led to the invention and discovery of plastic, flash frozen food, prepackaged food, LED lights, CAT scans as an example. No, like, people are unironic and prims, I think, in the chat. We're going to go extinct before space travel. I think that's part of the motivation if we're being real, which is always funny. Nah, you just project capitalism, wishful thinking, and many just find it as a BS. What? At least space is literally empty real estate, unlike North America or Africa. That's also true. And also, as far as we know, there aren't any fucking life forms out there. So it's just literally empty real estate. And it's endless empty real estate. I would much rather have people... I would much rather bring back the space race 2.0 than the Cold War. Okay? That is an infinitely healthier... That is an infinitely healthier way to get these capitalist dipshits or capitalist overlords to be motivated, perhaps unintentionally, into making significant gains that will improve our lives. So I am 100% on board with space exploration, the final frontier, all that stuff. I also personally think it's cool too, beyond the things that I just mentioned. It's only going to benefit rich people anyways. Yes, you're right. Poor people do not have a microwave in their apartments. You're correct on that one. Or a refrigerator, or no one uses plastic. Like any number of different things that came as a consequence of the technological gains made in both military warfare and also space exploration.
I appreciate it.
Do you actually believe we are a unique planet that contains life out of the millions of planets out there? No, of course not. Of course not. But what I'm simply stating is, in our lifetimes, or even in a million lifetimes, I think that we do not have the capability of ever, unless there's like a gigantic leap in, like, I don't know, quantum computing or fucking, we figure out a way to hit like light speed and can go and explore other galaxies in a reasonable amount of time in one lifetime, which is not going to happen anytime soon, in my opinion. Barring any sort of like significant technological expansion, I'm talking about what we are capable of doing, and in the vicinity that we can potentially traverse in the next 100 years, we don't have any fucking life forms. And that even includes Mars, maybe, that might have a fucking life form. There's nothing in space, Omega Law. I mean, space is infinite, dude. I mean, it's constantly expanding. To say that there is no fucking life forms is silly. Does it mean that they're going to be humanoid? Maybe. There could be. That is even a possibility. But there's definitely fucking it's impossible for there to not be anything that you would consider to be life out there.
You don't love the spirit of justice. You love your father, the devil. You don't love the spirit of justice. You love your father, the devil.
Love ya, brother.
Do you actually think that we'll stop exploring other people on Earth if they can explore space? No. No, they won't. Yeah, okay. Here are all the NASA spin-off technologies as a consequence of space travel. To all the fucking Luddites in my chat who were like, Grug, no space travel, Grug. Infrared ear thermometers, ventricular assist device, LASIK, cochlear implants, artificial limbs, light-emitting diodes in medical therapies, invisible braces, scratch-resistant lenses, space blanket, 3D foods printing,
You don't love the spirit of justice.
aircraft anti-icing
You love your
systems,
father,
highway
the
safety,
devil.
improved radial tires, chemical detection, video enhancing and analysis systems, landmine removal, fire resistant reinforcement, firefighting equipment, shock absorbers for buildings, temper foam, enriched baby food, portable cordless vacuums, freeze drying, space age swimsuit. I don't know what the fuck. CMOS image sensor, air scrubbers, Bowflex, environmental and agricultural resources, water purification, solar cells, water purification so you can get, you know, to all the fucking Alex Jones fans, so you can not get gay from the water because they put fluoride in the water. Of masters in physics, you're 100% right with what space travel does in our advancement in technology, especially with the mission to the moon, which motivated building faster processes. A lot of technology was accidentally discovered through the means of another. It is vital that the science community always push themselves. Yeah, I mean, they will regardless. Whether the motivation is capitalist or not, it doesn't matter. That will always that community will always push science. It doesn't matter what the cavemen Twitch watchers that I have right now in my chat saying. Luckily, the ridiculous fears of the cavemen in my fucking chat are completely inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. And if there needs to be a motivation, then, like I said, space race is better than fucking Cold War. I have a PhD in engineering sex with your mom, and I think that you should not go to space anymore. Fuck you, Hasan. Anarcho Primitivism
You
for
don't love
life.
the spirit of justice. You love your father, the devil.
Yes, I am familiar with the Fermi paradox, and we watched it twice now. You can't make the argument that, like, where you claim, you know, oh, look at you preaching about socialism from your iPhone. But you literally can't make the argument against technology while benefiting from technology. Like, we just would not be in the situation. We would be in infinitely worse circumstances without technological advancements. I say this as someone who has to wear glasses, guys. I literally have to wear glasses. Okay? You could make that argument. You would just have to make a decent argument. And you can't make a decent, legitimate, morally consistent argument against anarcho-primitivism because it's just bad. It's literally worse to live in a primitive society. I've gone from watching clips on YouTube to offline to watching live to subbed all over the course of 2 weeks. Keep up the great work and spreading the truth. Thank you, Gunthorian.